Okay, it said my thumbnail. It was unable to upload it, but who cares? We're here. We're live. Welcome to Saturday Night Jaw Harp Live. I believe it's 4/23/22. And Diesel, the Cane Corso mix over there, is chewing a large beef knuckle. You can hear him adding percussive. As of late, I've just been grabbing handfuls of harps and playing whatever on them. Working draw starts, working percussives, working breathing patterns, just whatever strikes my fancy these past couple days. Past 3 nights, I played quite a bit. Thursday, Friday, and tonight we'll be playing a lot. And yes, we are going on about 15 minutes later tonight than usual. My son was watching a movie called Happy Feet, and I got very engrossed into that movie. I did not know there was such a good storyline, such a good message there. And Patrick Bodine, hello. Dual Sport PNW, how you doing? Garrett Bolig, woo, back at it again, boys. Mark Scholl, evening, Jamie. Oh yeah, I'll be seeing a few of you here in a couple months at Plucked Up Midwest, June 3rd and 4th. Be sure to contact Porky Miller if you still want to go to Plucked Up Midwest. Yeah, that'll be a good time. Jaw Harp camping retreat on a private island in Minnesota. Oh, I was going to talk about something today. I had a customer message me. They bought a deep bass Homus or deep bass Vargan, and they were getting a lot of clicks out of it. And they were trying to play it very, very fast. On your deeper bass harps, you might want to slow down your plucks and pay attention to where Garrett Bullock, new mic, who dis? Oh, yeah. yeah. I just got out of the shower because I got distracted watching a movie called Happy Feet, which I'd never seen with my son. And then the mic, I've had this mic a lot, but normally it's sitting on a table. Now I have an actual boom. It's not an expensive boom. I should take a couple sandbags and pile it on because it will fall over. Oh, and one thing about this awesome mic that gives us good sound, if I move it, it mutes itself for some reason. But talking about basses, if you're playing a bass harp, that reed is traveling. It's more often than not either long or very flexible, so it's traveling a lot further. So you got to pay attention to when you're striking it. If it's moving forward and then it goes to reverse and then you hit it again backwards, sometimes that can twist it. So time your plucks out when it comes to your bass harps. And also, if you're a fast player and there's any downward angle to your pluck, if you're used to plucking a little bit downward on a lot of your mid-range harps, you're not going to notice the twist as much, but on a bass harp, if there's any downward or upward angle, it's most often people will start plucking downward when they start plucking really fast. Instead of it's easier to pluck slightly downward. It's more comfortable for the hands, so you'll see that. Playing that bass harp and it goes click, 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 click every time. Flatten that hand out and pluck more straightly in line and not downward, and it'll get rid of your clicks. But just look at the difference in between a downward pluck and a flat pluck. And it may look like my finger's going down, but the contact point is actually straight down, straight down. It goes straight and then it goes down. But if I start pulling down, if during the contact point there's a downward angle, watch. Clicks every time, so make sure you're plucking straight. And this is most evident when you play a really tightly gapped harp or really flexible reed harp or big long bass harp. Buddha, hello, so tired, but I'm here. Oh, hello, Buddha. Like the name. What time is it where you're at? It is about 8:20ish here in Kansas. 8:20 a.m. Saturday evening. Oh, and speaking of which, 3 or 4 Saturday Night Jaw Harp Live episodes ago, I proposed a challenge for somebody to find the episode. There was one episode years ago where my nose used to be broken really badly or deformed, and I couldn't breathe out of it, so I'd always try to blow my nose before I play, and I ended up having a booger on my shirt, and somebody had found that. They said it took them several hours to find it, but it was March 23rd, 2022, and it was Sean McNamara of Mind Possible, so not only 917 here in New York, says Garrett Bolig. Oh, my doctor when I was a kid, his last name was Bolig. Anyways, Sean McNamara of Mind Possible, thank you so much for spending several hours just to find the booger episode. So March 23rd, 2019 has been renamed Saturday Night Jaw Harp Live Sean McNamara Booger Special. And we're sending you a harp with a draw start. I think this is the one. also a harp. I made this harp, I think it was in 2021. And it was just a prototype I made of a natural wood case. It didn't turn out perfectly because it's my first necklace harp I have ever made. But the harp has some redeeming qualities to it. Let's see if I can even play it. Evening, Jamie, says Michael Casker. None the alt says hi. Hi! Not the alt says I got almost scammed by buying into a jaw harp like 2 months ago. Oh, was that probably a Snoopy harp? Don't buy Snoopy harps. Snoopy harps are absolutely horrible. You will not get good sound out of a Snoopy harp. But luckily, Snoopy harps are around $3. I've even seen Snoopy harps being sold on Amazon for like $8.99, which free is too much for a Snoopy harp. But for like $15-20, you can get a pretty killer harp. Especially beginner-wise. Like a poke, even a Pokin. That's a large Pokin. Even the Pokin are pretty good for the price. And I noticed this run of the Pavel Pokin larges were a little bit quieter. Still very tolerant of aggressive play. But for the money, would I go with Pokin? I would probably get a Bagvana bass harp or a Mohan bass harp. I think Mohan are some of the best harps under $50. Mohan, Tartar. Bagvana's starting to approach Mohan quality, but Mohan still is making a little bit more tightly gapped of a harp, a little bit more melodic too. I would say if you were going, let's see, is this a... Oh, that's a Mohan too. I don't know where my Bagvana bass is at right now. I have a gaggle of them sitting around somewhere. But if you want a harp that's more sensitive, go with Mohan. If you want something you can play more aggressively, go with a Bagvana. That's interesting that your doctor was Bolig. Many Boligs settled in Kansas, Nebraska, and Wisconsin after migrating to America from the Volga River. Oh, cool. Yeah, Dr. Bolig. He actually made a book, which I also read, Soul Man, S-O-L-E, Soul Man, because his father was a, would that be a cobbler or shoemaker? Oh, and last Easter weekend, we visited some family, and I got to learn some Beb family history. My grandfather was his Model T Ford quit working because a choke cherry got lodged in the gas tank and choked off the gas. I'm like, oh, that's a very old school pun and a true story. They stopped along the road to pick some choke cherries. If you're from Kansas, Nebraska, Midwest, you probably know what choke cherries are. That guy, my dad, owned that book. So wild. Oh yeah, dude, cool. Soul Man. But yes, they stopped to get some choke cherries. Because choke cherries that grow wild here, they have big pits in them. They make great jelly. They make great syrup. But you can eat them and they'll quench your thirst. It's a cool trick. You eat a couple choke cherries, and you're not thirsty anymore. Something about them. They're kind of like a tart bitterness. And let's see, next Friday, got a video coming out on draw starts. This is probably the last video. I've had 3 videos in a row that we did draw starts. So probably the last draw start video in a while. Is there anything technique based somebody would want a video made of? My melodic techniques, I'm not good enough yet to produce a video on melodic play. Maybe I could demonstrate a melodic exercise, or if you wanted the real thing, go to Mark Groudon and he'll teach you melodics. They sure do, Joanne. Oh, I missed a thing. And oh yes, Sean McNamara did find the booger episode. It was March 23rd, 2019, to those of you who are just arriving. And it was renamed, and we're sending him a jaw harp and a Morchang. That's 2 hours he spent scrolling to find out. I spent like about 5 to 10 minutes looking for that video because I wanted to rename it. Couldn't find it. There's too many live videos. Let's see. Should we do something draw starting? Got some Gorka laying around. Aunt Joanne, how you doing? How's Texas? It thunderstormed this morning. Oh, and to those of you who ordered the Shankabees from the special unboxing, I would normally package them up on Sunday, but I'm probably going to package them up Tuesday night because my son had a little bit of a temperature this morning, so I'll wait a couple days to ship any harps. That doesn't affect your normal orders from the Harp because they're not coming from here, they're coming from Porky Miller, but I do have the Shankabees in different room, different part of the house, the Harpery. I no longer play and hang out in the Harpery. I play and hang out here in the chill area. Garrett Bullock said, what combo of instruments pair best with the jaw harp in your opinion? I think that the answer to that might lie in whatever you have handy and also the skill of those using those instruments. For me playing just by myself, the instrument I go the most with to combine it with is a rattle. This is a African nut rattle of some type. I got it off Amazon, but I just put it on my foot. And I haven't done it for a while. But hearing people play in tune with instruments that are playing in keys, that's really cool as well. The jaw harp, just along like with percussive instruments like drums, rattle, stuff like that, you don't have to worry about tuning or pitch or anything like that so much. But if you're playing with a band, like they have a guitar and a banjo, they're playing in the key of something, you would take the jaw harp that is tuned to that note, the fundamental tune to that note, and that's you play with them in that key. So that's very cool as well when people are skilled at doing it. Neptune Chapotin has some really cool videos with Third Pulse, his band. Also, what is that Aaron Zology band? The name slips my mind for a moment. Or just watch Aaron Zology videos. That's pretty cool. Just him playing a harp and breathing rhythms is... Oh yeah, yakata takata takata takata. Pat Pearson says you need a small bass drum to beat at the same time. Oh, that'd be cool. Wonder if there's one I could just use my foot on, like a foot pedal or something. But, and as for timing, if I start paying attention and try to set up conscientiously my percussive, my rattle, it kind of pulls me out of the music. So what I do is I've been just kind of, whenever I pluck, that's when my foot stomps down. I just have it around my ankle and just giving it a stomp, lifting up the back of it. And I have some tea here brewed. We're caffeinated. I'll probably be live about 15 to 16 minutes. We went on a little bit later. Me and my wife are going to be watching Tenacious D in the Pick of Destiny. A grand old tale from the mid-2000s of two young musicians, or old musicians, in a perilous quest. Patrick Bodine says, I do well to walk and chew gum. Oh, nice. I've done that before. I don't chew gum much anymore. I've had some fractures, or at least one fracture on my jawbone. And I used to chew lots of gum, but like it bothers my jaw after a while. I find jaw harp playing to be much more comfortable than gum chewing. Oh yeah, yakata takata takata takata. Oh yeah, yakata takata 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 takata. Ooh, there I kind of drug it instead of oh we yucka ducka rushing through that tuck. I went oh we yucka ducka 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 duck. That kind of dragging, that was cool. I did that on accident and I really liked it. Well, what harps has everybody been playing? What have you been into? What's been going on in the world? Is anybody viewing? I think Mark, who's viewing, might be coming to Plucked Up Midwest. JC, what's a very good bassy harp that's not too expensive? I only have one Glasner Wave at the moment. If you like the saturated harps, Glasner Lighthouse, around $38 to $45. And the prices, if you watch this video years later, prices are going to be different because the prices are always rising. And right now, anything made out of metal, plastic, wood, or any material, the prices are just skyrocketing around the world due to many supply chain issues and pandemics and wars and special military operations and whatnot. But I would also suggest, let's see, Glasner and Lighthouse, a Tartar bass if you can find them, kind of a rare harp, really high quality, or Mohan bass. Mohan does everything Mohan does is absolutely killer, but Mohan does a killer harp. You are getting into a more flexible reeded. Some of them are big, and most of them are pretty flexible reeded with a lot of counterweight there. So they're fairly, I would say, comfortable to play. Some of the big, long, stiff harps, I played a jaw harp that's like this big, really transferred a lot of vibration to my head, my teeth. Your smaller and mid-sized basses don't do that. That's why I enjoy them. Bagbana bass makes a really good bass harp if you want to fast play it. Hold on. You just hold on a second. I'm going to grab a Bagbana bass. We'll just sidetrack for a moment. Give it a fine one. This is how you lose subscribers. I just got up and walked off. Okay, where are you, Bagbana bass? Maybe I won't play a Bagbana bass. I always keep those things handy until I don't. I don't know where you're at. No, that's not it. We'll just have to wait till another day. There's a Bagbana bass. There you are. One of them, one of the many. Yeah, Bagbana bass have big, tall triggers, and they're good for playing fast. And I'm playing outward. I'm an absolutely horrible outward player because I don't play outward. I'm going to switch up to a fast inward. But for sensitivity, I would go Mohan. If you want to play fast, that's another thing. If you want them super fast bounces, probably a Bagbana over a Mohan. Is this? The Bagbana and Mohan look very similar. They're easy to get confused. Oh yeah, that's a Mohan. Once you play it and hear that whoosh, crackly. Now some people don't like the Mohan bass. I sent it to a person once, a Mohan bass that was really deep, and they sent it back like something's wrong with it. It's too flexible, and I played it I'm like that's just how they're meant to be. And every harp you get, you should go into it with the mindset the harp is its own thing. Like if you played one bass harp, you may buy your next bass harp in the same frequency. Is there a sound difference? Oh, I missed it. I think it was a sound difference between the wave and the compass. Yes, somewhat. And sometimes there isn't a super huge pitch difference, but Glasner tend to, and especially earlier Glasner tended to range around in frequency quite a bit more. The ones now when you get Glasner a lot, all stars will be almost the exact same frequency. Seems like they're tuning a lot of them too. Oh, I missed it. I missed the comment. So about Nick Shoulders. I don't know who that is. Is that a musician? So what's everybody up to? How's the weather been outside? What harps have you been playing? I'll probably play one more harp, and I'll watch out for comments if they crop up. And we'll get out of here. I got Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny to watch. I was scrolling through Google when I was trying to find the runtime of Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny, and it's only an hour and 34 minutes. But anyways, I seen that they might be making a sequel to that, because Tenacious D, come back! Jack Black and Kyle Gass, come back to us. Wait, I missed it. Did he ever go over the picking difference? Which is the picking difference? Don't know. Oh, and playing a harp I made. When did I make this harp? Oh, 1024 of 20. Love y'all. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more Harper. Keep your harps clean, keep them dry, keep them old, and most of all, be good to tornado warning. Gotta go. Oh yeah, go down below. Grab a harp with you and a phone and a light and some water. Go hide from the NATO. It's a good time of year for NATOs. Bit of good weather in Sydney. Finally, months of rain and storms. Oh, cool. Oh yeah, you're down the other side of the great orb of the world. Somebody's asking maybe the difference in between plucking inward and plucking outward. Outward is going to be more detrimental to your reed. It's probably better if you're going to play really fast. Doesn't make sense. Cracker tooth. Lots of harps play the same inward and outward. There are a few harps that play exact same tone inward and outward. Most harps there's going to be a timbre difference, sometimes in a sustained difference, and certain harps will play better inward and outward fast, while other harps will play better inward only, especially really melodic monoperant stuff. Some prefer inward. I pluck almost all my harps 95% of the time inward. I get better tone, better sustain, and it does way less wear and tear on the reed. Outward play, especially fast, aggressive outward play, will cause the reeds, and most of the time they break in this first third here, just from the flexing outward. It causes things to vibrate different when you see how it loads the pressure back against there, where here we're just pulling it outward. It has room to grow here, especially as you start hitting harder inward, you're bam compressing that reed a lot more. It's the harp I made. Here's outward. But if you want to play like really fast, those really fast techno beats, outward play is going to be probably a better choice for that. Just something about the way your hand is. It's easier to pluck outward faster. Now, Jerome are especially good at that. Some of the Vargan, most Glazern play really well inward and outward, or at least decently. I don't know if I have a Jerome handy. I'm not going to get up and go check, though. Anyways, like, share, and subscribe for more harpery. Again, keep your harps clean, keep them dry, keep them old, and be good to each other. And congratulations to Sean McNamara for his harps he won and the booger episode he found. Love y'all. Harp out. So more wear on your harp and a slight difference. Yes. And especially if you want your harps to stay melodic, I would avoid playing them outward, especially aggressively, because that starts bending the reed. You'll notice harps that are played hard outward, they'll start getting that draw start because the reed's bent like this, which is great for doing draw starts, horrible for recreation of melodic tones. And we're going to do like a 60-second condensation of my theory on this. If your reed sits absolutely level along the decks, the sound waves it's producing sound along one side, sound along the other. They're crossing the decks in the same amount of time. And that's creating waves, the two sets of waves, because we're creating sound on both sides. The two sets of waves are going to be overlapping as they're doing this, the wave. So it's creating sound waves that are overlapping and reinforcing for a bell ring like dong. Now, if the reed is crossing it at different time, it's still creating those sound waves the same, but it's creating them out of time. So instead of the waves lining up correctly and producing, is that a standing wave? Correct me if I'm wrong. But instead of the waves lining up on top of each other and reinforcing each other for that clean bell ring of dong, you have the waves out of time. So the peaks and the valleys on the wave are crossing over and canceling each other out, much akin to if you have subwoofers and you have two subwoofers and you don't have the positives and negatives correct on both of them. So one subwoofer is moving out in while the other subwoofer is moving out. They're creating waves that are counteracting each other. And a good example of that, let's see if I have something super melodic. Yes, this Mohan here. Dong, dong, dong. In the lower harp, it gets more apparent. Whereas if you have a harp with a draw start, that reads bent, kind of like a banana, or at least bent in front of there. So when I draw in, but the tone isn't going to be a super clean bell ring. Here's a super clean bell ring. With the draw start. Why? I gain the draw, but I lose that melodic clarity. If I can play this without clicking. Let's try the super clean bell ring. That wasn't correct. I jumped around a little bit in that scale, but I love y'all. Harp out. Sounding good, brother. Oh, thank you, Sour Smoke. You have a good one. And congratulations to the great Dave McNamara of Mind Possible for winning the harps and finding the booger in the episode. Love y'all. How many times will I end this video? Should I end it now? Yes. End. Have a great weekend.